So you decided then, you know, you finished, your amateur days are over. I mean, Mick and Rob McCracken offered you terms as a pro?
Yeah, I was fortunate because Mick Hennessy gave me the opportunity to go into London, into the training camp. It was actually Lennox Lewis College, I don't know if you know that gym, down in Clapton, lovely place at the top of Hackney. I was able to train with Rob, get to know him, work with him, build up the cohesion with him and get to know him and make a decision, a non-pressurised decision really, as to whether or not I want to stay amateur till the next Olympics or turn professional. But bearing in mind I was 24 years old when I won a World Championship medal, and to wait for the Olympics, it would have been
2004.
2004.
Athens,
so I'd have been getting on for 26, 27. If I did want to turn pro after that, that's maybe a little bit too late. So I decided.
And Rob was always convinced as well, wasn't he, Carl?
Rob said to me, look, if you want to stay amateur, stay amateur, but if you get robbed like he did, because he thought I got robbed in the World Championship semi-final. I thought I got beat. I got a bronze medal because I lost in the semi-final, but he said you had the beating of that guy. So he said you could go and win a gold, but you didn't even qualify last time because the points decision, the way it is with the red button and the blue button, you're not guaranteed a place. So stay amateur, take the gamble. If you don't go to the Olympics, it's too late then to turn pro.
Yes. So you decided.
I had a lot of thinking to do. I worked with Rob, and I thought, yeah, I'll have a go at this pro game.
Let's talk about Rob McCracken then. He's singularly the biggest influence on your career, hasn't he? He was a wonderful fighter. I remember seeing him many times. But as a trainer, I mean, you think you've got the best, don't you? Yeah, definitely. The thing about Robert is not only has he got a great boxing technique and he's got simple methods, nothing confusing, there's no like rocket science, should we say, involved in his training methods. And he doesn't thrash you in terms of trying to get you fit. He won't be standing there with a clock every morning trying to get you fit and sort of giving you punishing routines. He's not mechanical. He's very natural, isn't he?
Minimum criteria for you with Rob is you've got to be fit. You've got to go running yourself, get yourself fit, then come into the gym in good shape, and I'll fine tune you. I'll sort out your technique. But with Rob, as well as being all that, he's also got experience at amateur level, at world level. He's boxed as a professional. And you know, he's been there, seen it and done it. He's not lifted world title belt, but he's fought for a world title against top fighters, and he fought against these fighters when he was past his best. You know yourself the struggle he had to stay at middleweight. He was never really given an opportunity to box at his weight. I think he was chasing Joe Calzaghe at one stage.
I think he probably was.
For a fight, and he got involved with Mick Hennessy, my promoter. They did what they could for the later part of his career. I think he fought Keith Holmes for a world title.
He did.
He lost to Howard Eastman for a European title, but Howard Eastman was red hot, as you know, at the time.
Yes,
I mean,
he
probably had the best of Howard Eastman. And he was bashing Howard up for 3 or 4 rounds, but the weight thing was a problem. And I think them shorts that he was wedged into, they were cutting him in two, and I don't think he could get his breath up.
Well, and they were Birmingham City shorts as well, which I constantly hold against him. But he is somebody that you actually listen to, because there's a lot of trainers who've never thrown a punch in their lives in a professional gym.
No, that's it. Yeah, there's a lot of know-it-alls and not even has-beens, people that think they know what they're talking about but don't. Boxing is very much down to the individual. If you can fight, you can fight. There's boxers over the years that have achieved great things, and they've not had anybody special training them. And they've not had anything great in their corner with any experience, and they've achieved great things. But they've had fights where they've struggled or they've been beat or they've been lucky. With Rob, what he says happens. If he says you're going to beat this guy and this is how you're going to beat him, and his methods, I trust everything he says, and I've got a big confidence going into the ring with Rob sat in my corner.
Do you think you'd have been a world champion without Robert McCracken? Good question, or?
No, good question.
Difficult to answer.
If I'm totally honest, probably not. But my chin might have got me there. And what I mean by that is I would have took a lot more shots to get my shots off if I didn't have Rob training me, because I used to steam him with my chin in the air and land my big digs. But because I've got a tough chin, I may have got through the fights that I've come through quite easily. I'd certainly be more rough and rugged and have more cuts and scars and bruises if I'd have not trained with Rob. But I think I'd have done well to achieve a British title level and maintain that level, because Rob's really tidied me up. When I was an amateur, it was Nassim Hamid stuff.
Yes, he was your hero,
from the canvas. Yeah, I mean, it was great entertainer, Prince Nassim Hamid. I mean,
you tried to be Nazim Hamid, didn't you, Carl? That's what you did.
I give it a shot. You know, I used to chuck silly shots from awkward angles, and I'm a big puncher. So I used to try the razzmatazz and try to entertain the crowd. And I've done it quite successfully from my pro career, but one thing I've never had as an amateur was a good defence and good ring awareness where I'm at and centre balance. And I don't want to bore you with technical stuff, but timing and range and you know the certain abilities that you're not born with that you can learn. I've learnt with Rob, and it's rounded me off, made me an all-round fighter rather than just having a solid chin, come forward, big puncher. I can also box on my back foot. I can block shots under pressure, and I can move around with the best of them.
Yeah, you're the whole package. Mind you, you weren't very good for Naseem Hameed because I think you flew to Vegas one time to see him. And of course your hero managed to lose,
I spent every penny I had saved up, went with my brother and a good friend of mine, Jason. We flew out there after it was before the World Championships actually, the World Amateur Championships. And he fought Marco Antonio Barrera, and he lost a points decision. And I lost my life savings.
And you lost your life savings. The first time he'd lost, in fact, he stacked the place out that night,
It was terrible. It was a bad performance, but Prince Naseem, a lot of people don't give him the respect he deserves, and I'm not gonna be a cheerleader for him. But what a great fighter. Yes. Real good punching power for his weight, good ability. And if he'd have learnt to box a little bit and, you know, get his hands, I mean, I'm the worst. People saying get your hands up. But if he'd have learnt to box, because he could box, and move and defend himself a little bit, he could have walked all over the likes of Barrera and Junior Jones and the fighters that were around at his time.
Yeah, Morales, all these ones.
Morales, he could have beat a lot of them and been a legend. He's not a legend now.